The 8-Bit Hillbillies.
We're alive. We're still here.
Alive. Yes.
Not only are we live, we are alive.
Unintentionally, we just kind of went on summer vacation, I guess, for 3 months.
I mean, when you're not in school anymore and you've not had one in a while, why not take one just to know what it was like again?
We just took one. We just all quit our day jobs and disappeared.
Out in the wilderness.
I mean, me and 6 Inch did go to Alaska, and
That's
we
true.
did.
It just kind of snowballed from there.
We had even debated on trying to record a show while we were out there, but yeah, that wouldn't have happened. Or at least
Lord,
not easily.
No, not with the cell service that we had.
Oh yes, the cell service was garbage.
That was tragic.
I don't think they get good service out there at the Yukon.
Even the official on the boat, like Wi-Fi was pretty messy.
Yeah, it was pretty junk.
it was, yeah. So yeah, we did go to Alaska. We got back, and then things just life is kind of the easiest way to say it. Stuff got busy. Some stuff's been going on. Happens to the best of us. But yeah, we're here. We're going to try and get back into a routine again and get things going. So apologies. We left you hanging, but we're here. We're back. And we are going to discuss Transformers tonight.
As much as we can.
As much as we can. 6 did you get to see it?
I did, actually. I sat down at at the card store tonight and watched it. Oddly enough.
Hey.
Nice.
I just procured TV while I was there. Just kind of said, "Hey, can I borrow this?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, I guess."
Some prep work.
So hey, we're watching Transformers tonight.
And I said, "Anybody else want to watch Transformers: Rise of the Beast?" And I had a few takers. They were like, "Yeah, sure."
Nice.
So we just sat down and watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast down there. So
we're all sorts of caught up then.
Yeah,
right. It'll be less fresh in my mind because it's been a hot minute since I did see it.
I'm about to say it came out in June, and then it can't be that bad. I mean, it came out in June, and I mean it's already on digital.
yeah, that was the surprise, because I mean it's like not only was it on digital, like like you could rent or buy, but it was for free on Paramount Plus. If you've got
Paramount Plus, yeah.
If you got the streaming service, they were just like, hey.
Well, because originally, you had asked me, you said, hey, you think about, we go check this out. And that was already like, what, a week or so after it came out.
Yeah, and we just never really quite made it there.
Again, it's summer life. It's just been a hectic few months.
Vacation.
I mean, really, we just like, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's go, we'll plan that out. And then, July just came and went. So yeah, honestly, I was really surprised at how quick it did hit digital. But yeah, I was like, well, I'll just watch it here and then we'll talk about it. I mean, probably, I hope nobody's been waiting for us for a review.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
No.
Gonna be a little late for that.
If I were guesstimating, I'd say that is not the case at all. But
I've been anxiously waiting for our yes or no as to whether they should go see it.
Can I go see it now?
It's like when they do a thing, and I think it was Dave Chappelle talking about, let's go check in with Ja Rule and see what he thinks about this. I don't think they're going to be asking what the 8-Bit Hillbilly said about that. Oh,
yeah.
I don't think
it's what they're wondering.
Okay.
Right now in France, what do they Hillbillies think about the Transformers: Rise of the Beast? They have not reviewed yet.
So
I'm inclined to leave the French hanging personally.
Well, I mean, we don't hear nothing.
If it's hinging on us, for them to go see it, we'll make them wait a while.
Sacre bleu.
So, yeah. Anyway, and actually, we kind of had like a little pregame warm up discussion about it last night. I guess out the gate shooting on it. Really weird is kind of how I feel about this movie. It's
I kind of
like,
got
I
that. I
don't-
kind of got the same vibe, but
So you both got the iffies off of it.
I enjoyed it.
yeah, like
I enjoyed it.
like
I enjoyed the trip.
I wouldn't say I'm not mad at the movie. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't hate it. I have no ill will towards the movie. But after it was over, I was like, well, that was fun. But simultaneously, it's like,
Now what?
well, I mean, I really wouldn't call it great or good either. I'm about as Swiss as you can get with this movie. I mean, there were things I liked about it, and yeah, a few little quirks here and there, but I feel really weird about it. I think it was a step back from Bumblebee because I felt like Bumblebee was fantastic, and had a lot of heart. I feel like the heart was kind of missing from this one that Bumblebee had. I feel like this one was more of a step back towards some of Bay's style and issues without going like full Bay either. Like,
Explosion.
most of Bay's stuff was just an incoherent mess, and at least this was coherent. You know what I mean? Like,
So
we
what did we
got
want to do
where
with
we
this
needed to
scene?
go.
Explosions.
And
Yeah.
make the camera circle around it.
Oh gosh, that damn camera sweep of his. Every movie he does, but yeah, that's my high level of it before we, I guess, get on into it.
I
Hey!
enjoyed the ride.
Yeah.
I did.
That's
I
it?
I was pleasantly surprised with actually how much I enjoyed the humor. Just like with Blur or Mirage. Sorry, not Blur. Mirage.
It's like, wait, which version did you see? Blur was in it?
Blur was Blur. No.
Yeah.
Did he die?
No, he was
No,
there. He was so fast though. That was it.
Yeah. No, but Mirage, I like the humor. I like the little quip, like with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I heard he's quitting music to pursue acting in movies, man. What the heck?
Yeah.
You know,
I did appreciate that.
I did chuckle at that.
I got a good chuckle. I got a good laugh out of it. I mean,
Overall,
there was a few different things that I saw, and I was like, okay, that's funny.
yeah,
there was
the humor was largely okay. It definitely was not the Bay cringe. Just the stuff Bay is known for.
I didn't think that, and this is where I'm going. This is going to be my biggest, like, I ain't gonna say biggest critique of it, but it's going to be my critique of it, in that I don't think the story with the brothers, even though there was some time fleshed, it was kind of worked on, and it more focused on, obviously, on the oldest brother, the eldest.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really fleshed their story out good. It was just like, oh, little brother's sick, big brother's trying to do stuff to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some trouble, when he was, in the military or something. So you could at least see that he had military experience.
Yeah.
And which that plays into the end of the movie. You see where his military experience obviously comes back. Basically full circle back to him doing something more military-esque at the end of the movie. But yeah, I don't think that I don't think the brothers were really fleshed out very well. I don't think that those characters were really fleshed out, and I really don't think that the lady Elena, I guess is her name. I don't think her character was really. I don't think that it was that one was fully, like, you see just a little bit of kind of what she's doing at the beginning of the movie, but it's just like, how did she get to the point that she's obviously smarter than the person that she's working for, or at least, you know, is a little more intuitive, I guess, of what she's doing as far as the antiquities and things like that, you know, looking at this stuff, because she's obviously, she says, you know, when she first gets there, she says, hey, you know, come take a look at these, because the police are wanting to, you know, they're wanting to verify if these are actually, you know, real or not, you know, if this is actually the real thing or not. And so you kind of see that, you know, it's like, well, obviously she's got some experience, or she's got a pretty well trained eye, but how did she get there?
Mm-hmm.
And if she's that good, why is she like apparently like just an intern?
You got to start somewhere, I guess.
You know, I mean, yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, is like she's just an intern, but she's got like the head lady basically saying, you know, yeah, come over here and take a look at these and see what you think, because yeah, we need somebody, another set of eyes on this stuff. And that's just about as good as it gets, you know, but you don't know how she got there. You don't know, did she go to school? Did she not go to school? Did she just, you know, did she run around with Indiana Jones at some point? You know,
I'll be honest. I really didn't care.
you know, yeah, but I mean,
I'm
that
sorry.
character,
I was just like, and honestly, this is just a general Transformers gripe across the board. You know, you always got to check the box for the human element to do a little bit of a connection. And it's been from animated to now. Sometimes they do it well, sometimes not so much. Honestly, I was kind of glad for it to be kind of quick, high level, and it's over. And you know, here she is. You know, she knows a little something, and just move on. I mean, I'm having flashbacks to the Bay movies where we spent like an hour following Spock doing an internship.
yeah,
know,
no. I don't really need that much, but you know,
I mean, remember what, I can't remember, what was it, the third one? Or the second?
maybe.
I don't honestly. And we can. This is probably that's where we're going to end up anyway. You know, if you're
Eventually, yeah.
if you're talking about all of them, I mean, outside of the first Bay movie, you know, the original Transformers live action, the rest of the stuff Bay did, I couldn't tell you one thing about any of them at this point. And I saw, yeah. But that is one thing I remember. There was one of them. It was like an hour of film time, just of random office jokes and Spock learning to be an intern. And so, no, I like I said, I don't care. I'm kind of glad.
I mean, that's okay, because I mean, you've even forgot that actually Spike was called Sam in the movies.
Yeah. I knew it was something.
Yes, Witwicky.
It was
That's why I was sitting there thinking. I was like, wasn't his last name Witwicky?
It's Witwicky.
You knew what I meant, though. That's what
what
matters.
Yeah, the original '80s cartoon, Spike and Sparkplug, Witwicky.
Well, I was saying that, and that, you know, obviously that's who he was supposed to be.
Yeah,
You know, that was the intent. But
in the
yeah.
comics, it was Buster.
Okay.
Buster Witwicky. So I mean, that same characters had so many names, it's ridiculous anyway. So
Well, that's the thing. They probably wouldn't use Spike just because of the fact that didn't he play? Um, what was his name in Indiana Jones in the Crystal Skull? Wasn't it Spike?
No.
no,
No. That wasn't his real name. That's what he wanted to go by.
I
That's what
thought.
his character wanted to go by was Spike or something.
let's
Wasn't that it?
Hang on.
Oh,
Mutt.
the magic of the
Mutt
internet.
Mutt
Williams.
was. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
Mutt.
I was going to say Mutt, but I want to at least get this one right since I already blew it once.
The hell kind of name is Mutt anyway?
Spike. Exactly.
That name
You
came
were
out of
named after the dog.
Lady and the Tramp.
But
Um,
no, I was. Yeah, I don't know. I part of me says I kind of would have appreciated a little bit more, not a lot, not Michael Bay amounts, but a little bit more of who are these people.
mhm.
But
Well, and that could go a little bit too to the and I know it's what they were going for with the two brothers was the heart element that I feel like
well,
Bumblebee nailed. You know what I mean? That movie had heart, and
the fact that if we're gonna have an MPV of all time, Bumblebee wins it.
Especially in this one.
I mean, he does both of them.
I can't remember what that was. He playing as he came out of that plane. Don't
call
call
it a
this a
comeback.
comeback. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I enjoyed it as I watched it, but yeah, and like I said, I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. You know,
Just
and
kinda
I'd been following on a lot of the Transformers pages that I'm a part of, you know, and it was getting a lot of praise from them. I know maybe that was some of it, but I had pretty high expectations going in from that, and yeah, I don't know, maybe they overhyped it for me, and maybe they were so excited because it wasn't like Bay that that's the metric is how far away
Well,
from Bay are we?
I will say this: a very accurate representation of Unicron. I was happy.
That was very much appreciated.
Yeah.
I was
They
very happy with the amount of detail that Unicron had.
Yeah.
The
They
only
did
thing that would
really
have made
good.
it better is if they had done the voice right.
That deep Orson Welles type.
Yeah, I was going to say the Orwellian, deep Unicron. It just
Yeah.
For a purpose. Nobody summons Megatron. Then it pleases me to be the first.
Yes.
I've got that one filed away. Someday, that ever comes up, just remember that and should be. It pleases me to be the first.
It pleases me to be
You
the
know?
first.
I mean, you got to admit that was the best retort to that in that entire '86 movie. I
Yeah.
think '86 movie had good dialogue in it anyway.
Yeah.
But for me, the Rise of the I liked it. It didn't leave me with any unknowns, I guess. It didn't leave me feeling the way you two seem to be feeling.
Yeah.
No. I was. I don't say that I was. I'm not going to say that I'm on the fence of whether I didn't like it or did like it or kind of. I'm going to say that I enjoyed it. Really good. I really liked a lot of the attention to detail with some of the the stuff in there. Unicron being one of them. But the little just tease right at the end of the movie, that little twist,
Yeah.
that made my day.
Look,
Yeah.
the movie's been out long enough. I'm not concerned about spoilers, so we can.
So yeah, spoilers. Here it comes! Alert everywhere.
The G.I. Joe at the end of it.
Yeah.
That was a very, very good little twist and end at the end. And I was like, ooh, I actually got chill bumps on that. Movies don't much do that anymore for me. And I was like, whoa, G.I. Joe, here we go. Crossover time.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that it was a crossover. It did happen in the comic books and in
twice.
So
There
it was just
were
like,
two
I was like,
different
oh,
comic stories with Transformer and G.I. Joe crossovers. Even the 80s cartoons crossed over a little bit.
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Commander, I want to think, appeared in a Transformers episode. And there's the daughter of a G.I. Joe character that featured in Transformers a lot. I'm trying to remember whose daughter she was and who.
Consulting the Google.
Yeah.
Googles.
My brain is failing me, so we got to do the Googles.
Hey, it's apparently all of us tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just coming back off of vacation.
This is true.
We just got back for summer break, guys.
Still trying to get caught up. That's what that is.
But yeah, it does make me wonder if they're going to make him a new G.I. Joe, or if they're going to tie him to an existing name that they hadn't revealed yet.
Right.
Like he's going to secretly end up being a Joe we're familiar with.
I did look him up. I did look the name up from the movie, the character name.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no previous Joes from the past
that go by that name.
That go by his name. So he's going to be a new Joe, but are they going to give him an old call sign?
They're going to they'll probably do the Hollywood thing and just give him another Joe's call sign.
Yeah.
Out of convenience.
So I will either like it or not like it, depending on what call sign he gets.
Right.
Shipwreck.
If he gets no, that belongs to Hector.
Hector Delgado.
If he gets, I don't know, if he gets Tunnel Rat, I might be fine with it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was actually envisioning him as Tunnel
Rat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he gets that, I'd be fine. If he gets Duke or Flint, I'm not going to be happy.
Okay, yeah, that's like totally asinine. But
Well,
no,
I mean,
because as I was watching the movie, and I was already aware of the G.I. Joe hook at the end, and so it did kind of make me mindful of it watching. And yeah, as it went through the movie, I kept thinking, this guy, he feels like a Tunnel Rat.
Mm-hmm.
He's very close to it, build wise, what he does with the technology. Yeah, I was definitely getting Tunnel Rat vibes from him.
Yeah. So I'll be happy if he gets Tunnel Rat. No big. I don't think or feel that Tunnel Rat was as widely known as the rest of them, like Roadblock, Duke, Flint, Hawk, Falcon, Lady J, Scarlet. Just the main core. It's not as well known. So
yeah, it wouldn't work for any of them, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah,
well,
especially the stockier, bigger guys. If you're talking Roadblock, Heavy Duty, Bazooka.
Yeah.
Any of those guys, it definitely wouldn't work.
No, would not fit. keep Hector as Shipwreck. That's going to be a must.
But And
But
it does make me wonder: are we going to keep it planted? Because I think we had a time jump. So it's like, is this going to? We're going to have another time jump by the time. If we get to the next one. I mean, it's so hit and miss. Did it make enough? And
how well did it do?
G.I. Joe hasn't had the best luck with their movies. I mean, neither of the first two movies I think, were very profitable. So,
Well, don't give them asinine backstories and don't kill them all off in the second one. I mean, that's pretty easy answers right there.
yeah. God, I hated that first movie so bad. Honestly, it took me out of it. The rearranging of the backstories. It messed it up so bad. And to me, it was just, let's make things convoluted just for the sake of making it convoluted.
Speaking of convoluted, I really am not sure how or where they're going with this whole story with the movies right now, Transformers wise, because Rise of the Beast is being touted as a sequel to Bumblebee, but still being called a prequel to the 2007 Transformers, tying it to Bayverse. I don't know how they're supposed to pull something like that off, because by the end of the Bayverse, Unicron is Earth.
It don't make a lick of sense. There's no way you can tie it. And
No.
and every movie of Bay's contradicted the prior Bay movie with some detail here or there that just like you're just stacking. It's not working. The math is not functioning for this.
2 plus 2 equals fish. Yeah.
I mean,
If you have 3 fish in a basket, how many times can you open and close the door before someone across town understands the movie that Michael Bay made?
I mean, and that's like I was saying. I remember good bits of the second Bay movie, but everyone after that is just I've seen them, and I can't tell you a damn thing about them at this point. They have
too
left.
chaotic.
Yeah. And I think the second one only sticks with me so much more is because I did really try on that one and saw it a couple times. But yeah, to me, I mean, I still think the best Transformers movie is the first. Well, excluding 86. If we're only talking live action, I still think the best Transformers movie is the first Bay movie. He got a lot right with that one.
2007. Man, you believe in that? That's been that long?
Yeah, I know. Then Bumblebee, and then I would say Rise of the Beast. But my one hang up still with all of these is this obsession to have these mindless drone Decepticons just to fill space and just like, you basically each movie you get like maybe 1 or 2 Decepticons that have any sort of character, and then the rest are just, they're meant to be fodder. And it's like we've grown up with, the Decepticons were characters themselves, they were important, just as much as the Autobot side. And I guess another gripe with Rise was I feel like most of the good guys even kind of fell into that category. I mean, Optimus Primal, Prime, Mirage, Air Razor, got time and dialogue, but it's like, why did you even bring in Cheetor or Rhinox? They hardly said nothing.
Just to say, here they are.
Yeah, I mean,
right. Bring them in, I guess, keeps you from going, well, why weren't they in the movie? Why wasn't the movie? Rat Trap wasn't in the movie. Why not? Well, because he wouldn't say anything. He was that rat over there gnawing on a piece of cheese in the background that you didn't see. There you go. He was in the movie. I don't know. That would be the main thing there, I guess. But there were a lot more they could have done with them.
Yeah. And like I said,
I mean, the
it's
thing
just
is Rhinox is in a way kind of the Wheeljack of
Right.
the Maximum.
And he didn't even get to interface with I'm calling it the faux
Wheeljack.
Wheeljack, because that was not Wheeljack in this movie. I'm sorry. Good God.
That is a complaint of mine. They made the others look similar to G1 except Wheeljack. I'm like, what is
Even
that?
though he looked like Wheeljack in the opening sequence of Bumblebee.
Yeah. What happened there?
Come on.
Did you run out of budget or something? Had to piece something together? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a cool thing. Scourge being the main villain.
Who was voiced by Peter Dinklage.
That's awesome. I mean, you can't get much better than Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
I'm
I was amazed. I was like, that's actually really cool.
I am a Peter Dinklage fan.
Scourge was a great standout in this movie. I will say that he was a great villain.
Yep.
For being a weird, like, it was like the later versions of Scourge where, you know, he's supposed to be obviously the other side of the coin to Optimus. So obviously he was a truck, but then at the same time, it's kind of like the tie to the old Scourge from the '86 cartoon where he was, you know, a minion of Unicron then. And it was a weird combining of concepts, I guess, on that.
And
I'll honestly admit
they had a small person.
As the big baddie.
Yeah, as the big bad guy. Of course, I will say this though. I did not know until I was looking, obviously later, that Ron Perlman was Optimus Primal. I did not catch on to that.
Really?
And I don't know why.
Well, it goes even further than that, too. So here's the thing. So the big cargo plane that they used to travel around in, Stratosphere, I think they called him.
Yep.
Is the voice of Bender from Futurama. John DiMaggio.
Huh.
John DiMaggio voiced the big cargo plane. So
he
it's Bender.
cracked me up.
So I don't know, as he crashed, he could have said something like "bite my shiny metal ass" or, you know, something to that effect.
Oh, that would have been pretty funny.
That would have been funny. But good times there.
Trying to think anything else that stood out to me. I mean, the action was good. It was coherent. All the fights, you know, you could understand what was going on
And who they were.
Unlike as
Bay
the scenes
movies.
unfolded. Between both the night and daytime battles in the movie.
Yes.
You know, good Lord, if Bay had done that, you know, that night fight, it'd just
explosion.
You might as well just chuck the camera down the hill. Let that be it.
I was actually laughing at the one scene where they're going down that mountainside, you know, in Peru, and Mirage is out ahead of everybody, and RC is still riding in the Vanagon for whatever reason, and you know, and Optimus Prime turns around and he's like, you know, I'm going, you know, pretty much he's going to start kicking butt and taking names and, you know, beat up Scourge and all this other stuff. Well, like 2 seconds into the fight, they're flying off the hillside, and you see them rolling over top of Mirage. Well, then you see, you know, some more fighting, and then a few more bots start rolling down the hillside. So by the end of it, Mirage is the only one that's still on the road driving. Every other bot that was there fighting was rolling down the hillside, getting trashed.
And somewhere a camera rolling behind them.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a great
I was
technique. Just
cracking up.
chuck the
I was-
camera, get everything you need on the way down.
The old zesty buffalo was there. He was watching it with me, and we were just cackling because it was just because that's all you see is just and just getting wrecked out going down this hillside, and here's like every single one of them was just rolling down the side of the hill. But speaking of fun camera angles.
Well, I'd say it was pretty good camera work when they shot that rocket and you seen Wheeljack kind of just start sliding sideways and the rocket went through his open cargo doors right by RC's face.
And you see her mouthing some vulgarities.
That was pretty good.
I laughed. I got a good belly laugh out of that one. In fact, that whole fight choreography during that scene, I laughed quite a bit at that. I was just more of an excitement, just having fun, with it.
Yeah,
it was a neat, I do though. I kind of wondered about the whole thing with Optimus Prime. And I know Scourge, it's supposed to set him up to be the big bad guy. And of course, Prime takes it to him later on, but it's after, essentially Mirage and then, Noah, the little human dude, had kind of softened him up. So, him being a Prime, I don't know that I don't understand how, like in that first fight, how he got his butt so conveniently handed to him.
Well, I think
to the
part
point
of
that
it was he was kind of imbued with that extra oomph from Unicron. I think that was kind of what they were implying was,
and that's what they alluded to.
Yeah,
Was that he was so much, that he had gotten more powerful because he'd been, filled with dark energy from Unicron. It's like, well, okay, but doesn't Prime have,
power of the primes?
The power of the primes and the Matrix. I mean,
well, also think too. Start of this movie, Prime was, he's kind of salty.
He was,
and he kind of had to rediscover himself a bit by the end, and kind of find his oomph. So I kind of count that as part of it too.
Prime had some saltiness and self-doubtiness going there, a la Rodimus Prime after the '86 movie. Kind of questioning, choices and leadership and self-confidence and wanting to do what needs to be done to protect and what have you. So yeah, it could be an explanation on that, on why he got his butt kicked there at the start. But the Dark Energon thing, being empowered by dark energy from Unicron and whatnot, that actually is a throwback to Transformers Prime. If you've ever seen it,
I've been meaning to. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's a good series, but
Yeah.
Dark Energon is a thing from Transformers Prime, and it ends up it's actually the blood of Unicron in Transformers Prime, and so Megatron uses it a lot.
Well, of course. Now,
So
is
that
it
was
Megatron or is it Galvatron?
In Transformers Prime, it's Megatron.
Yeah.
Galvatron does not make an appearance in Transformers Prime. Neither does Hot Rod or Rodimus. They keep it all generation. Well, Galvatron or Rodimus was Generation 1, but they keep it all
Galvatron
the original run.
I don't know that I would say I wouldn't say Galvatron was G1 fully. So he's
At the
more
tail
like
end of it.
1.5.
Well,
Generation
Not quite
1.5.
not quite 2.0.
well, anything of the original series movie is considered G1. So yeah, I mean Galvatron would be G1. The
Yeah,
line
well,
doesn't come in until
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with whoever said that, because he wasn't in the cartoons.
Galvatron.
Yeah. Megatron.
Yeah, he was.
He was in the cartoons.
What are you talking about?
Galvatron didn't show up till the movie.
Yeah.
But then there was season 3 of Transformers, and he was in season 3.
Yeah,
Well, see, he wasn't in the original season 1.
That is the original
that
series.
is the original.
The original season 1. He wasn't in it.
You don't have a line of separation between each season of it.
Yeah.
minute now.
We're in
So here's the
Generation
thing.
7 of Game of Thrones.
You should.
Season 2, Transformers introduced in season 2 wasn't in the movie. It's because the movie used all the information they had for season 1. When they were creating the movie, they were using season 1 information, which is why you don't see a lot of characters in the 86 movie. Like, Warpath, Power Glide, the Aerial Bots,
Superion,
Vertigo,
Motormaster,
Superion,
or Defense, or Minosaur. Damn
the
it,
Stunticons, and
Bruticus.
yeah, there was season 1, season 2, then the 86 movie, then season 3, and like a few episodes of season 4.
Yeah, season 4 was like considered 3 episodes, and then it ended for us.
Mm-hmm. But it continued in Japan.
And actually, I watched some of that, first couple episodes of that, and it just keeps going.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just insane how far it goes.
they get really nuts with it in Japan. By the end of it, you don't even know who the hell who is.
I don't think anybody knows who they are at that point.
Victory, Leo, and Kaiser, and
Soundwave becomes Sound Blaster, and he gets a new paint scheme, and
Blaster becomes Twin Cast, and
um,
then we're gonna call you Shit Piece.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Right there you go.
and that's just what you'll be.
I'm Goldbug.
Shit piece.
Damn, I look like a piece of shit.
That's just who you'll be. You'll
That's
be
what your
Shit
name will
Piece.
be.
Oh, that brings back memories.
Good times.
Yeah,
Man,
all of that is G1. Then you've got
I don't agree with it.
G2. Dude,
disagree all
mean-
you want. It doesn't change it.
it is what it is, man.
Leonard Nimoy, with Galvatron's introduction, Leonard Nimoy did the voicing for Galvatron in the 86 movie, but then you're not going to keep an actor of that
Caliber
profile
for
for
a kid's
long.
toy commercial.
No, so when season 3 started, of course, you couldn't have Leonard Nimoy voicing Galvatron anymore. So Frank Welker took that back over again. It was Galvatron from season 3 to everything stopped.
Well, and don't they even kind of like somewhat explain the voice change a bit? Because he takes a little bit of a bath, and Galvatron after the movie is plumb
Insane.
batshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nuttier than a squirrel turd. Psycho. So they did that. The Jack Angel, I think, is who did Ultra Magnus after the movie, and he was able to get it and keep it pretty close to Robert Stack.
Yeah. Which I don't get. Why couldn't you keep Robert Stack? I mean, it's not like he did much. I mean, Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
I mean, you could do Ultra Magnus voice on the weekend. I don't know.
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries.
I have, when it comes to that series, and honestly the 86 movie, I do continue to have an increasing appreciation for it. Like many, I was burnt bad with the death of Optimus, but as time's gone on, it really is.
Optimus.
What's that?
G4 Optimus.
There's no G4. There's not even a G3.
What?
This is the part where we just give people all kinds of awful information that's not even supposed to be in I'm going to turn around and just make some crap up. People
I'm trying to keep it factual.
No. You're yes, you are correct. Yeah.
G4 Optimus.
This is how we introduce the equivalent of flat earthers to Transformers. There's a G3. What are you talking about?
What? Yeah, they did G3 in Japan in 1996.
Okay, that's like, we all had that one friend in middle school that knew somebody that had an uncle that worked somewhere and would just spin up bullshit.
Yeah,
You
like
having
horse
fun
shit.
with
Bring
your
in the proof.
G7 Godzilla.
Godzilla former.
That actually would work because I mean you got how many Godzillas have you got?
All right, there's been quite a few Godzillas of different sizes and calibers and looks.
Have him throw down against Triptychon.
Bring Metroplex in. Hell, bring in Scorponok and Fortress Maximus too. We'll have ourselves a good old shindig.
Yeah.
I just
Hoot
wish
nanny.
they'd actually named one of them Suplex.
Suplex.
Metroplex Suplex.
Suplex City. It could look like
Suplex
Brock
City.
Lesnar.
Yeah, that's what they should have had. Oh well. No, back to what we were saying. Anyway.
Metroplex and Suplex City.
Bring in another one. Name it Goldblarg.
Goldblarg.
That is something I'm surprised they have not done. Is combined wrestlers and Transformers. They've
I
crossed
thought they
over.
did.
I think they did too, actually.
I think they did.
All right,
Let's
consult
see
the
here.
Google.
I think they did.
Hang on, I'm looking. Toys. Nothing immediately jumping out at me. Quick Google has nothing, but a deeper dive may produce different results. I'll keep the train going. But I can go back and rewatch the '86 movie and just really appreciate a lot of it. It's just a fun '80s ride now to me. Hop in the time machine and I mean, at this point, they've brought Optimus back so many times. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, it's not that big a deal that he dies. And even Rodimus isn't as annoying as he used to be to me. Like, I kind of appreciate his arc a little better. And it's another one of those things early on. It's just like, that stupid idiot, he got Prime killed. Why do I want to root for this guy?
He was just trying to help.
Yeah.
There's actually a cut scene in the '86 movies where Ultra Magnus jumped his shit.
I say that would have been.
Yeah,
would've
but
been-
it was before Prime got there, though. It was right after, where Hot Rod and Cup jumped the Insecticons to get across the gap and into the city.
Yeah.
They come in to the little command center area, and you've got Ultra Magnus and Perceptor and a bunch of them doing whatever there in the command center. And Ultra Magnus jumps all over him about security protocols and this and that and the other. And Hot Rod was like, yeah, whatever.
And the funny thing is, it did work. It worked for this movie, for '86, and it's not too bad. And honestly, I feel like Hot Rod's crimes they're not as bad as the turd that is Falcon in the GI Joe movie. And obviously, you can tell they learned some stuff from the Transformers movie with the Joe movie to try and course correct. Duke's come out of the coma. He's okay.
Yay!
Even though
He
we all know he
lived!
actually bit it at that point.
That was just a dialogue change. The original
quick
story,
dialogue change, but I
Duke's
can't get
dead.
through the GI Joe movie. Like after the opening sequence, it's all good.
It's the best part.
That's the best part. It really is. Just make it the opening sequence, and because the song is awesome, the fighting and action's awesome, and then I can't go back to that one. But I can rewatch the Transformers movie all day long. But every time I watch it, I'm just like, I hate Falcon. Like he can't be redeemed to me compared to how like Hot Rod has, gotten better to me over the years. Hot Rod / Rodimus. And then there's just the whole Cobra Law crap. Like that. Oh gosh. I don't want to know. I don't need to know, but it's there.
Oh man.
It's Macho Man.
Macho
Magnus.
Macho
Magnus.
Magnus. Randy Savage.
Yeah, I wanted to get the cream and it rises to the top.
That's it.
Oh,
But yeah.
yeah.
The Cobra Law stuff just, I feel like it took G.I. Joe and Cobra out of the real world and just introduces this bullshit fantasy element that just like, it made no sense and just made it too far out there. Whereas before it seemed pretty grounded in a, good guy versus bad guy in the real world, stop the terrorist kind of thing. And then you just produce this Cobra, and it go to the Transformers movie, Unicron fit, this crazy, it still fit within the rules of the world. You know what I mean?
For a time, I considered splinting. Or splinting. Never mind. That fucked up. Carry on.
You did.
Sparing your wretched little planet of Cybertron. So what happens when I try to do two things at once?
Yeah, don't do it.
I know. Too old for this shit.
And then you've got all those dead Autobots in that movie. And they're making action figures of them now.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for that. That was
I found that at Target today, and I'm like, wow, that's the best way to get an Ironhide and a Prowl now. You have to get them at their worst moment with battle damage where they hit after Megatron
battle
blew them.
damage.
Relive the worst part of your childhood.
Action figures of Prowl and Ironhide with their fatal wounds there on them.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the sad part is to get those two without it, they were in like a exclusive box set.
Of course they were.
Yeah. I managed to get them, but yeah, you couldn't just buy those like part of a regular, I think Amazon may have had it. And yeah, sold out. And so now, like, if you were trying to create a modern collection of the G1 through G4 characters, yeah, the best you can do is a battle damaged Ironhide and Prowl.
I'll have to say though that the Ironhide one is not completely accurate.
Yeah.
No, because he has his head.
he still has his head. I did think of that when I was looking at him.
They need to have a little bunch of crushed up plastic pieces off to the side and a little bubble wrap thing for his head.
The label that says Ironhide's head. What's left of it?
What's left of it? Such heroic nonsense.
So, but yeah, I mean, if we're talking overall, the original G1 movie still, I feel like is king.
I do too. That one still has just, other than the deaths, it's still got the feel goods of the old days. Anything new, all they can do now is imitate
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. And the thing is even they can suck at doing that. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and it's just like I wish they had. I wish they had ran a little tighter to the Bumblebee formula, because I feel like Bumblebee is the closest we've got to feeling like G1. And if they had ran, like, especially the opening, battle on Cybertron, like if they just ran with that a little bit more and brought those guys to Earth, so close.
yeah. I
And of
really
course,
would like for them to do something live action that matches more closely to the G1 series
yeah.
and have all the characters in it. Keep any type of deaths to a minimum. That way you can have some stories, play them out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and of course, anymore, it's just they. I think it's about screen time. I don't think they know how to handle, more than X amount of characters. And I guess I kind of get it too, because then you got to produce, you know, all these different characters. You've got to give them something. And I guess that's why a lot of the later series after G1 became a little less of a toy commercial, and all the teams are always smaller. Did you notice that? Like, we've never got the sheer volume of characters compared to the original. And again, it goes back to G1 was a glorified toy commercial. I get it.
Yeah. The more you can cram in there, the more toys you
Well,
can
I mean,
sell.
that was true though for a lot of stuff, like of that day and age. I mean, He-Man was no exception.
He-Man,
Absolutely,
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
It was all a toy commercial back then. I get it. It is what it, but yeah. Yeah, of course, Hasbro just doesn't produce like they used to either. So I think it's the other reason they like to keep it limited.
He must have remembered some random factoid from Generation 12,
Yeah.
from G12 or something. I don't know.
G12.
G12. Now, G12 is where this Transformers 1 is going to fall in place,
Probably at that point.
where it explores Orion Pax.
And it's one of those, it's like, I don't know, you got to be careful now, because, there's certain circles, they'll kind of jump you for being, too hardcore about G1. It's getting to that point now, and they always come back with, well, there's more than that, and there was other series that were first time Transformer series for people, and it's like, yeah, I get that. And I've watched a good chunk of what's come out over the years. I think it goes back more to, I think we just yearn for, with current technology and filmmaking and everything, I just want one good stab with what we had in the 80s, with full complete story. You know what I mean?
And make it look better
Yeah.
than what it does or what it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm not knocking the guys that, your first series was, Robots in Disguise or Armada or Energon.
John. Yeah. I didn't watch any of those, by the way.
They were okay. I mean, the story got tighter. I mean, was more coherent and a little less of a toy commercial, but yeah, and they did have a Unicron hook in them, so they did at least bring him back for that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not knocking those guys that's their first series, but I think it goes back to so much of, I just want one good run with, can we get that at least, and then do whatever you want. think about the only thing we've got that with was the Ninja Turtles in the first movie, and then the parents ruined it for the second one.
Yeah, they did.
Thanks, parents.
I mean, I'm serious. We don't know how good we had it with that first Turtles movie.
I know. Oh man, alive! It
Um,
holds up today. I mean that movie is fantastic.
and I still yearn for a hardcore like Mirage Comics adaptation. All of them with the red headbands, all of it.
That way you can tell. That way you can't tell who is who unless they're holding a weapon.
Yes. I guess you could still do the colored head. It don't matter, but you could do an animated or even a movie. But I mean, still the first Turtles movie was pretty spot on, and you're right, it's aged well. I mean, look at the first GI Joe movie, not the cartoon, but the live action. It was just like, where are you coming up with this crap? Why? I don't know. We've gone over this numerous times about Hollywood's inability to actually just like maybe visit a forum for 10 minutes
Well,
and
I don't
see what.
understand. You've got comic books. You've got just good old cartoons from the 80s and 90s that you could do so much with. I mean, you have at your fingertips, you have a completely fleshed out, awesome story that people are going to love and pay a lot of money to see.
Yeah.
And you're like, nope.
Let's see how we can divide the fan base.
Nope, can't do it.
Let's come up with some random ideas drawn from a hat, stick them on a dartboard, and throw darts at it to see what we go with.
But
Yeah.
I will say this though, and this is just a for what it's worth in that category of stuff. Some of it I can understand. It's hard to do a movie right, especially if it's live action, and make it kind of defy, kind of defy what is natural, or easy to do that you can do in a cartoon all day long and then some. Because, cartoons are cartoons. I mean, Wile E. Coyote fell off a cliff, got blowed up. There's a lot of crap that would happen if you try to do that today. I mean, PETA would be climbing up your hind end for,
How dare you harm that coyote?
Oh, yeah, and it's like, no, he's doing it to himself.
Isn't that part of the fun of it?
Even though he's certified genius.
Yeah, he's certified. But, I mean, I get it. I understand that, there are things that just don't translate well over from cartoon to live action.
Hey,
Right.
PETA, don't blame me. Blame Acme.
Yeah, really.
They're the one that keeps selling to a coyote.
They're a bunch of enabling jerk faces over there. They just keep giving him stuff. But
Well, who sells to a coyote? Come on.
For real. But they keep doing the same just stupid stunts that keep turning the fan base away from IPs that should be no-brainer moneymakers.
Well, and then they do it,
and
in a
they
way
all do it under the guise of artistic freedom.
Well, and they always do it in a way that splits the fan base and continues to, and then they do it a different way, and then it divides your splits. And to me, the path of least resistance is you ain't got to have it 100%, but get it pretty close. So you get most of your, the existing fan base, but then do it in a way that invites new people.
Well, people will appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing where you do it and then you say, well, if you don't like it, you never were a true fan. Okay. But if it's still garbage, it's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other flip side of the coin is they do it different, and then they defend it in a manner that is basically they just take a crap on anybody and everybody that might be not even necessarily critical of casting choices or all manners of people showing up in storylines that didn't even exist in the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
they build it into any sort of critique, and they have a nice cover for it that they like to throw, and it doesn't matter how legit your critique is or concern, but yeah, they build it in to then just attack, and which again, like, don't you want to make money? Isn't the point of your business and to do this and to make money? Why do you want to continue to carve off little bits of your base
bit by bit, shutting yourself off of making more money?
And a perfect example of what happens when you do it right, I think, is this year's Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah,
that was done right.
And I thank Nintendo for that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they can be real,
they have their moments,
how they handle their IP or how they handle their stuff. But I will say this for them: they didn't let them go in and do whatever kind of craziness they were planning on doing, and said no.
I'd heard rumors that they wanted to go different ways, and consistently Nintendo's like, nope, our way or the highway. And
you're going to make this movie, and you hope to make money off this movie. You're going to do it the way we want it done.
Paid off big time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, because for Nintendo, it was a great, that's a great marketing, tool. First off, which that's what they figured out in the 80s. It's a great marketing tool.
Mm-hmm.
How can we make kids want toys? Well, we make a cartoon out of it that comes on Saturday morning cartoons.
Hey, paisanos.
Yeah, Nintendo knows how to make money, and they're definitely not going to want a steaming turd because they already let that happen once.
Yeah,
sure as crap ain't going to let it happen again.
We don't talk about that. poor Bob Hoskins certainly didn't want to talk about it. God rest his soul.
He did not. He absolutely hated that movie. He said he spent most of the time on the production floor drunk than anything.
Yeah,
but I mean, I would trust that you listen to the people who've been in the business for a while, especially of video games, and say, okay, this is how you protect your stuff, but this is also how you appeal to an audience, and basically give them something that they will guaranteed pay money to see. And, when it does hit digital or DVD or whatever they want to get it, Blu-ray, they're going to buy it.
Yeah. You want
so
to
you get
grow your audience. You don't want to piss them off and carve off bits and bits and we keep dancing around it. Multiple episodes we've danced around it, but sooner or later we're gonna have to have the big episode to address the elephant in the room. But look at Star Wars.
Oh my gosh! Don't look at Star Wars.
Look at Star Wars. I mean, that is the. I mean, if you want the best example of how to fuck a franchise, and I thought it was kind of bad when there's some disagreements between the prequels and original trilogy, and prequel haters and all that, and
that
was nothing compared to
tip of the iceberg
compared to now. But like I said, we won't go. It's coming. It's coming. We're going to have to address that elephant in the room. But
we may have some extra guests, extra special guests on that show too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm unrelenting on my Star Wars. I mean, I'm sorry. And
our special guest will be too.
Yeah. Well, but that kind of goes to, I think, the overall of what we're saying here about, when you're pissing off your fans and doing things, we're the one giving you money, and this stuff is
That's
important to us. Like, what's so
but
hard about
that's
just
the part that I can't wrap my head around. That I have a very hard time trying to figure out. And however you want to dress it up. But we have seen companies since, we were younger that have come and gone, that have gone the way of the dodo. I mean, like, I just look at Toys R Us, for
Mhm.
instance. The nostalgia that held in the walls, the four walls of that building was ridiculous. I don't know many people that are my age or within that 10 to 15 year time frame of being my age that did not go to a Toys R Us, that don't have some kind of good memory about a Toys R Us, of going and picking out a gift or something like that. And then they turned around and partly was online sales started going nuts.
Mhm.
Amazon, places like that they started taking a hit. But instead of adapting or trying to utilize the nostalgia of come to Toys R Us, they double down on the stupid. And they say they do stuff like, well, we're going to get in these, these toys that obviously people will come in and buy for the sole purpose of collection. But we're going to treat them like garbage. So when you get in there, you look at the box looks like it's been set on.
Yeah, I actually,
I
I'm one of those guys, and I'm sure the poor manager at the local Toys R Us hated me, but I actually lit them up, and it went to corporate and got back down to them, and there's some back and forth because, yeah, they got in this. It was
well, we
it
went
was
in
a
and
masterpiece. It was a masterpiece transformer, and they put one of those god awful, stupid, cabled security locks on it, and they
Oh,
clamped that thing so tight, all four
it
corners of the
screwed it up.
box were indented from where they cranked it, and I'm just like, how stupid do you got to be? This is a collector's item. I mean, honest, and I was going to open it, but it's like I'd still like the box to not be complete trash. But why? Why would you put that on this item? It on it, and it was big enough. Who's going to sneak it out? You're not smuggling that thing out.
stick this in my trousers.
And if they want to run out with it, it'll trip the alarm. Then get a wire cutter, and I mean, it was just ridiculous. I lit them up.
Baby,
And
is that a transformer in your trousers? Or are you happy to see me?
Which one was the he was the
And that-
240SX. Or not 240, I'm sorry. He was a 280Z.
You're
Car.
yeah, no shit, it's a car, but I don't know what it looks like. Hang on a second.
hang on,
Oh my gosh.
smoke screen. Blue
Smoke
streak?
screen. It was smoke screen, I think.
Well, there were
I
several
think you're right.
it was I know the car. I know what you're talking about. There were several that fell into that. It was yeah. There was smoke
I
screen
think
and blue
I
streak.
think it is smoke screen. Was it the blue one that had a bird on the hood?
Like a firebird?
It had a design on the hood. It was a blue one with a design on the hood.
That was a Corvette. That was Trax.
Was that Trax?
Yeah.
Smoke screen was blue and red. Hold on.
Yeah, it may not have been smoke screen. Oh, no. It was Jazz.
Jazz?
No.
What didn't turn into
He was a
that?
Porsche 911.
Yeah, he was a Porsche.
I think a 911. I know he's a Porsche. Yeah. When I had the conversation with the manager, she was like, I'd really appreciate it, from now on, if you just address it to the store, just bring it to my attention. And I'm just kind of looking at her like,
You're like, mother trucker.
I know how retail works. Like, unless you go corporate, if anywhere, you go to the local retail person, they don't care.
Smoke screen.
But
Sorry.
and they ended up swapping it out. I got one with a decent box, but yeah, you're right. They kind of crapped all over the collectors.
The
They'd order
Nissan,
these exclusives, but then they would never stock enough. Like, if you've made this big purchase to make people want to come and clear your
Well,
shelves of this thing.
Blue Streak was one too. And I'm looking at there were 3.
Anyway, it's a car. It's a transformer.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we went. I think me and you were together.
Yeah.
I think we went in. We went into Toys R Us that day, and we were looking at those specifically at the Masterpiece Transformers, and they had just released that one. And so I was all about it. I was just like, oh man, I really want to get that.
Mhm.
And so we started looking at the boxes, and it was like there was like three boxes there, 4 boxes there, and every single one of the boxes looked literally like, somebody had stuffed them down their trousers. I mean, it was pitiful.
Yeah.
And we found one that the box was halfway decent on, and that was the one I ended up buying. But that was the same thing. It was like, I can't understand, of all the things that you're going to have down this aisle.
Well, I mean, again, they'd order these exclusives. They'd want to bring people in. I remember the big one of the big ones. I went numerous times, sometimes multiple times a week, just in a week, to try and catch the right time when they'd stock some of these. To this day, I got a Masterpiece Soundwave that was exclusive to them, and it's the only one I saw. I mean, I got it. Don't know how I looked into it. Huge demand for it, but it's like, why did you not order enough to stock the shelves? Like, they had no gauge on demand. And yeah, oftentimes, it was the same collectors going in and day out, week after week, hoping maybe they'd catch the 2 of that rare item they managed to stock.
Yeah.
Well, that was a rabbit hole. It does make me sad.
Yeah, it was. but I mean, and that's kind of where I was going with it though. It's like, I don't understand why you gotta do that. Why is it that you've got to do that? Is it is it just, I mean, are you wanting to not have business? Because the people that go for, that come forward and be like, they're doing this to, for whatever reason. And you should I'll probably go shop there. They don't go shop there. I'll buy that, or I'll do this, I'll do that. But the people who were saying that they applaud them and everything else don't actually buy their stuff or go there or do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, well, how dare you, for pointing it out or making a big deal out of it, and it's like, well, I'm passionate about this kind of stuff.
That's the thing with
you go be passionate about what you're going to be passionate about. Let me have mine.
A lot of these franchises and things that we keep going back to, it's passion. It's a big part of us. We want to defend it. We want to protect it. And I mean, it's where I get downright vulgar and mean when it comes to my thoughts on some of these, and it's just like I don't really care. I've said before, we supported these franchises when there was no one else. So yeah, I do kind of feel like you owe me a little something. I mean, sorry, it is what it is. I mean, but again, we'll bank that. That's the elephant in the room. It's coming. It'll probably piss some people off. I don't really care.
What a day that's gonna be.
I don't really care because I'm so over it. And you look at some of these dumpster fires out there, and it's like, how is this any good? How is this any better? You know. But anyway,
what a day it will be.
That is more than meets the eye. Transformers. So, kind of shifting here. We are approaching, I guess, our fundraising portion of the year.
We are,
and need to start, I guess, considering where we're heading with that, and kind of gearing up, and well, and then also the other side, the other stream that I think we've been kicking around trying to do, the Hero Quest. And I don't know what that schedule routine looks like, but yeah, hopefully we are going to start streaming. Obviously, it doesn't really work for the podcast format because then you're just kind of listening to dice roll and what we're doing. So it's one you definitely got to watch.
yeah.
But the goal
Whatever
is
format on that one,
because we've been buying the Hero Quest, games and expansions, is to start doing kind of a live stream of us playing Hero Quest and working through those. So that is something on the radar. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we are thinking about it.
Yes.
I knew it. There it is. Solo Sokoa has come in, started beating up Jey Uso. Got Summerslam going on inside here. I've been waiting for this finish. It's like they just remember when pay-per-views used to end at 11, and they just drag them on.
They are so long now. It's ridiculous.
My gosh. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of glad we don't watch like we used to, and they're not on Sundays anymore. We had to get up and go to work the next day. Damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? It's now midnight. We're just like, wrap it up. I got to get up in the morning because I'm old.
We're too old for that now.
Anyway, hopefully, we are planning to do Hero Quest live streams and kind of get that going. And
yes,
just have a good time. We will announce that when that time comes. Dragging Jay's carcass back to the ring. I'm sorry, I just happened to glance over, and that was the subtitle. The announcers are saying dragging his carcass to the ring.
But is it really a carcass? I feel like
that's some old JR level.
Stone Cold. My God,
tattoos. Oh no.
That's hilarious. But yeah, here in a few short months, at this point, I'm just kind of calling it fundraiser gaming weekend since, I'm planning to kind of go a different route than Extra Life for raising money. So it's kind of ballooning out into other fundraising, goals.
That was interpretive ballooning out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, whatever we want to call that. I mean, as far as there's no like weekend for like what I'm supporting. So, might as well just wrap it into that weekend like we do. So,
do it all together. Keep it fun. Make it a group thing. Keep it a group thing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But that is still like what, the first weekend of November?
Yes,
I hadn't looked.
because I've already put in the time for it off.
Okay.
Yep. We will be doing things and stuff.
Playing games, raising money for the cause of our choice.
Which is all good. Good things. Help peoples.
Pretty much, that's the end goal.
So at least, yes.
And there's a gnat that is like just hounding me right here. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. We've had some of those god awful jerk face little
jerk
fruit
face
gnats.
gnats.
Fruit gnats or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, Extra Life for those that choose them. I will be raising for National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. I don't know. Somebody else may want to raise for whatever cause is important to them. But we'll play.
Bring back Generation 14.
That's right. That's a
Yes.
good cause.
Yes.
Those Gen 14 guys, they're the flat earthers of Transformer fans.
We got to raise money to get them some school books so they can get better educated.
Better education. I'm glad that I got a rise out of somebody tonight. That was fun.
That was pretty funny. I will give you that. I was like, what is he talking about? What
the heck is wrong with this guy?
Is he crazy?
He knows better than that. You watched these shows, didn't he?
He's younger than I am. He
Fine.
was there. He was there when the Transformers were forged in the fires of Mount Doom.
Don't talk to me.
The only way you can defeat Galvatron is to throw him back into the fires.
Fire. Mount Doom.
So
Man alive.
I laughed a lot.
that's gonna be good. So
That's good stuff.
yeah. Well, I think that's about all I've got for tonight. We've discussed some
Likewise.
Transformers, things that are coming.
Don't expect a lot out of this. When we just got back from summer vacation.
It's gonna be a joke that never goes away at this point. The Hillbillies went on summer vacation. Oh, actually,
I know we got.
So we do have we have discussed going to this Legends and Lore pizza.
Yes.
Oh yes.
We do need to plan that little trip.
That foray. Our adventure.
Yeah. So I don't know necessarily if that'll be a live one. We might make some videos or whatnot, but yeah, it does look like some good pizza. We're going to try that out. Take a little mini road trip. It's only a little over an hour away from where we are. So, but yeah, that is something else to think about, and we'll try and post about. So,
yep. So we got quite a few things happening and coming up down the pipeline there.
As we head into honestly what I consider the best time of the year.
Yeah. Get this summer stuff out of it.
Good God, this summer heat this year.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's not been that bad.
It has been worse.
It has been worse. I remember band camps on the practice field, and it was over 100. And that's not with the humidity and stuff. The actual temperature being over 100.
Was over. Well, that blacktop didn't help much, but we were also a lot skinnier back then and could take the heat a lot more than we can now.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just old age that's like, because honestly, temp wise, this summer ain't that bad. And they're all like, it's the worst. It's the hottest summer on record. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
We were younger. We were thinner.
I mean, I'm not wanting to get into that, that whole thing, but I'm just like, I don't know that I consider this the hottest summer on record.
We
You
were
know,
in
like
better shape.
globally or whatever they're considering. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, but I remember way worse when I was a lot younger and could tolerate this stuff a lot better.
Now I'm
And,
depressed and I want to eat a donut.
and I, and I think that's me. It's more of a I just can't tolerate it anymore.
Nope. You know, no more pay-per-views for you while we're doing this.
I'm sorry. It's just like wrap it up already. But yeah, we're entering the best time of the year. I'm counting down the days to the 1st of September, and Septembers are still a little warm here. Our summers do tend to linger,
Yeah.
sometimes up until November 1st.
Yeah.
But at least it's starting to wane. So
Yeah. I often joke with people. As far as I'm concerned, after July 4th, because I do love me some July 4th, hit the fast forward button
Burton.
to Labor Day, and let's get on into. I love the triple threat: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah.
And last year we did some high level discussions around those themes. Maybe this year we kind of single target, certain movies and games around those themes this year. Get a little more specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
See what we can come up with and what we can do. Yeah. Many things coming our way. Got to do the pizza place. Got to do the Hero Quest thing. We've got the fundraising stuff and gaming coming up. There'll be live streams for that. Live streams for Hero Quest.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to the card store, Checkpoint Gaming. They will be hosting some fun and exciting things as well that I will be down there taking part of. And then some that I will be there, but I will not be taking part of.
yeah,
You'll just be hanging out.
So yeah, so we, give them a quick little,
no, absolutely.
quick little bump.
And as I've been trying to think about, set up, because I know we've wanted to do a stream from there. I go back and forth because I know setup is going to be difficult, and obviously they've got a business to run. They've got folks coming in playing cards. I'm almost wondering because we had a topic around what we would like to have discussed while doing a stream from the store. And basically the idea was to discuss, the kind of the progress of the years from the game stores to where we're at with, a lot of places like the card shops and just memories, around that, I'm almost wondering if it'd just be better to invite them to a stream to discuss, we just do it like we normally do. That way we don't have to worry about the audio and the setup and, internet quality, all of that stuff combined. We just invite
Taking
them to
up a time slot that they would use for something for them. And
we just invite them to a stream, and that's our discussion. The game store. That lack of an idea at the moment. That's the name of the episode. The game stores of old. I don't know. I'll work on it. But I mean, you know what I mean? Because that was again, so much of what we talk about is things that are important to us, the old memories we have, and that was going to be kind of my tie-in. You have this now, and I'm not a big card game player. I nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with it. I've just yet to find my hook for it. Nothing at all against those that play it. Enjoy it. Wear it out. But I feel like they're filling that role that we used to have when we used to go to places like GameStop and EB Games, Electronics Boutique, have Babbage's, I'm digging way back.
Man.
I love
But
it.
you know
Advantages
what?
is where I bought a game band or an X band at.
Actually, I've been listening to X Band like background music on YouTube just for fun.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but you know what I mean. I almost think that might be better
Golly.
to just
Freaking
invite
gnat
them
fly
to
by
a stream.
my face. Jerk.
What?
I think he's getting accosted by an insect.
Fruit gnat or fruit fly or whatever it is come flying by my face. I went to swat it and smacked the microphone. And I called him a jerk face.
Speaking of jerk faces, Roman Reigns continues.
Yeah, he's a jerk face.
I mean, I didn't think Jay was going to pull it off, and I got to admit that was a pretty decent swerve. He got betrayed by Jimmy.
Kimmel?
Bum, bum, bum.
Dang.
Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel ran in and just
that dirty
tore
dog.
him up.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel did it. Oh man, they are absolutely going to make sure he holds that until he breaks every record reasonably. There's no way he can beat the longest. Absolutely no way.
Nope. Unless they want
I
him to hold on.
I don't think
to
the
it for
fan.
8 years.
I mean, the fans are already tired of it, but there's no way they'll hold out to. What was it? They projected like 2027, 2028 to actually legitimately beat the longest record. Like
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Bruno
I'm still pulling
Sammartino
for.
will hold that forever.
I'm still pulling for Cody next year WrestleMania. Cody's my boy.
Cody.
Rhodes.
Either that or I am now officially on the LA Night train. I will say that as well.
Stardust.
I haven't. Oh, Stardust is my hero. I'll be with Stardust.
Anyway,
He's the kind of guy that everybody needs to aspire to be more like. Come in, make everything awkward, and then just as quickly as you came in, leave. I mean, that's Stardust.
we need a wrestling episode. That needs to come. We just talk about the many nights we've gotten together and watched pay-per-views at your place and the hilarity that has ensued.
Tattoos, oh no!
Look at the tattoos. Oh no.
Oh my gosh, he's an animal.
And we're not going to go into the story now, but that night Stacy Keebler came through.
Oh
and Jerm
yes.
said his nice favorite line.
He just applies that to everything at this point.
Well, I mean, it's true.
It is true because we all do.
Yep. But anyway, that was my thoughts for the card, the card store for Checkpoint Gaming. If they were interested, I almost feel like that would be an easier approach to achieve those goals and it be clean and it work. Because I have worried about the technical. What's that?
So I do believe that would be a good idea.
Yeah, because I've kind of stressed about the technical hurdles to make that work for a live stream in the store, and not be a mess. So
this is true.
I will leave that end up to you, Jerem.
Okay.
Kind of like I'm also leaving the Hero Quest setup for you.
Okay.
It's all on you, man.
Mainly because you've got the table and kind of the setup for it, so
Right.
you're already halfway there.
I mean, since you're already set up, and we do Extra Life there every year anyway, so
well,
kind of like Live Stream Central.
It may help. It may help you just to go ahead and we can probably go ahead and work out a lot of bugs and stuff for Extra Life through the Hero Quest stream. So
this is true. It's
there's actually a few things that I've been wanting to try with the making the live stream for Extra Life or Charity Gaming Weekend, whatever you want to call it. Bunch of crazies trying to.
We need to come up with our own like kick-ass name for that weekend. Since we are kind of, diverging and kind of going, whatever route that somebody wants to go, we need to just come up with our own name for it and brand that shit and put it on lunch boxes and stuff and flamethrowers.
Especially flamethrowers.
I'm going to say especially flamethrowers because I already know somebody that'll buy one.
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know
I know a guy that'll buy
and
one.
toilet paper. Got to put it on toilet paper. Merchandising.
There's an episode, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And we can go into why that joke is even included in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So
there's a reason for it.
Yep. Well, I think, to go ahead and wrap us on up, that's where we're headed. That's what we've got. We've obviously got some things to talk about, but we're still here. We're still going. I totally botched the usual within the first, minute. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Repeat.
I
Watch.
blew it, but hey, we've been on summer
vacations.
vacation. Summer vacation. Can't help it. But, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Go around the room. Anybody have any final words?
Good to go.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Yes, he did.
He did. He
G2.
did have a beard.
G2 Grizzly Adams.
G2. G2 existed, so you're okay with that.
Yes. There
Not,
was
not Grizzly Adams, he didn't. There was only one generation of Grizzly Adams.
No, that G3 didn't have a beard.
And G5 had a mullet.
He did. G7 had a mohawk.
G7 had a mohawk. Oh, Lord. Transformers fans' heads would explode on some of the forums that I'm on. What the hell is this guy going on about?
What?
So,
But
yeah.
no, I'm good.
With that, we'll wrap up. Thank you for listening. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. And we are not on summer vacation now. So our goal, barring life being what it is, we'll be back much sooner than 3 months or whatever it was. It's about 3 months. It's been a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next episode.
The 8-Bit Hillbillies, featuring Chief RGS, Jennergan, 6-Inch Turkey. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe.